went through everything, depression, suicide thing. I did every single thing to try to process everything. So I, I'm just grateful that God. I think it was all part of God's plan, only because now I can relate and reach more people. I can say I've been there too. You're not alone.
Wow. Okay. So Sandra, what did you do? Because I can't relate at least with suicide, but I'm sure there's a lot of people because I have had friends who went through that where there was times when they just they had suicidal thoughts. They just wanted to kill themselves. They thought they didn't deserve to live. They felt like they weren't worthy, or maybe just a lot of things were going on all at once, and it was just too overwhelming for them, and they just wanted to quit. And so I'm sure there's a lot of people who are still going through that and just trying to figure out what is the next option other than, killing themselves, committing suicide, and etc. What exactly did you do for you to get through that darkness?
Well, what I did was prayer. I had to go back old school. I had to go back old school.
You had to take it to
I
church.
found
You had to take it to the cross.
I had to take it to the cross. I feel like that was the best decision I've made. Like, I've always been a private closet girl where I prayed. My prayer place was the closet, where nobody can reach me. I'm there. And that was my moment. I was like literally heart thinking suicide. And I remember calling a suicide hotline.
Wow.
Yes, I was calling a suicide. I was really about to lose it. And the guy on the line was like, um, do you pray? And I'm like,
What?
yeah, I do pray. But wow, what are the chances of someone's asking me, did I pray about my situation? Did I confronted God about it? The one who created me, the one that knows the ins and the outs of me. Did I talk to him and find out what his perception was? And so what I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to pray. So I remember with boogers in my nose, snots, everything, my face is all messed up. And I said, I'm going to try this, God. I really don't feel like praying, but I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to tell you how I feel. So I started telling God how I felt, what was going on in my life. And then I didn't want to take it anymore. And he needed to step in. I don't want to do things in my own hands, but Lord, you have your way. And whatever you want to do at this point, I'm all yours. I don't have any other
Wow.
options.
So basically, you surrendered.
I surrendered. And that's what everybody needs to understand. The moment you decide to surrender, I know suicide is hard. You just want to kill yourself. But think about the people you will hurt. And what I thought about was my kids. And what I thought about was I was being selfish. I was being selfish. And that's when I decided, you know what? I'm not going to be selfish. It's not about me anymore. It's about a lot of people out there that needs to be saved, and also my kids. I got to be there. I got to be here.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So you went through a lot, Sandra.
Oh yeah, I got a couple of things
Testimonies, huh?
in my bag.
Wow. So would you say that you felt like you were the one who was trying to control your life, and then you just figured that you would probably just surrender, just let it go and let God take over? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I had to surrender because sometimes we want to do things our way, but think about it. Our way is never the right way.
That's
You
true.
know, we think it's this way, but you always find yourself right back in the same predicament. But the moment I decided to do things his way, I find myself growing, and I found myself getting healed the right way.
Right.
And that was the only, and I say, I know it hurts. I can tell people I know it hurts. I know it doesn't make sense right now. But God's way later on will make you're gonna have an ah moment. That's what I say. Oh, that's why I went through this. So I can say, you're gonna have it doesn't look like it now, but just stay in that process. It's gonna hurt, but it's like getting a cut. You have to put the peroxide in the alcohol. It's gonna hurt, but then later on, it's gonna heal and it's gonna feel better. And you know what? And that's what you got to think about, the better
Right.
after it, not the time when you're bitter and you're going through it, because that's just the process.
Right.
At the end of time, things will get better. And I'm gonna tell you right now, gotten so better. Like I am so happy. I can literally say I am
Amen.
happy.
Amen. Well, Sandra, you did say something that was really important, which was prayer. But I have a question for you because there is a lot of people, and especially I can only imagine because when you're going through so many things, and I don't know whether it's bill collectors, whether it's I don't know death in the
Oh,
family, whether it's divorce,
yes.
whether whatever the case is, it's so difficult when so many things are just hammering you down, pulling you down, going left and right. It's so hard to just sit still and just pray out of everything that's going on. So I have a question for you. What about those Christians, or first of all, those Christians who, who's they say that they love God and etc. And but they just don't really know how to pray, or at least that's what they think, or they just don't know how to just talk to God. Like what is prayer to you? How does someone just sit there and talk to God? And what about those people who don't know God, and when they hear prayer, they're just like, how do I do that? What is that? What is the 10 steps to that? What are your advice on that?
Oh well, you know what? I grew up in a very traditional church. My dad is a pastor, and
Okay.
so I'm a PK. And so what when I grew up, I've learned. I thought prayer was speaking loud, yelling, and 5 hours on your knees and banging everything, and I was used to looking like, I don't think I can do that. Hate prayer. I used to hate praying. Literally
Really?
hated praying because I felt like it was traditional. It was like, okay, I had to do it. But then later on, as I grew and I matured, as a Christian, I've learned that prayer is actually you communicating with God. It's just you telling how you feel. Lord, today I had a rough day, but I know you're in it. Can you please help me go through this day? Or Lord, today is a tough day, but I know with you in it, I can make it through anything. Like little conversations with God and including Him in your day, including Him in your thoughts. It's like a relationship. Prayer is just building your relationship with God. It's communication. So you don't have to do 5 hours of prayers. You don't have to be on your knees all the time. You don't. You sitting in your car and you're talking to Him is prayer. That's how I view prayer. I don't see it as a chore. I see it as me loving God and getting to know Him and having Him um close to me
Right.
and just building a relationship. And I know, and this is what I tell people that are baby Christians. Don't fall for the whole trend where you have to yell and scream and pray. Take it step, do go on your level. How would you talk to someone if you were in a relationship? What would you say if you wanted to express yourself? What would you say? Say those things to the maker, and there go your prayer. You don't have to use big words. I used to think that I had to know I had to know the Bible inside and out just to sound deep.
Get the
But
dictionary.
the
Write
dictionary,
some poems.
the thesaurus, look through it. But I've learned that it's prayer is way beyond that. It's your connection, it's your heart talking to Him. It's you just communicating with Him, letting Him, just involving Him in your day. It's not even complicated. All you have to do is open your mouth and say, "Hey God, it's me." And there you go.
Amen. Amen. All right, Sandra. Yes, you giving me chills. All right. Well, obviously, I can tell for sure. I can tell you did go through a lot, especially
Mhm.
if it went to that point. So now, I mean. I mean, the first time I got introduced to you was, of course, Facebook, and I'm barely on Facebook. When I'm on Facebook, I'm just on and off, on and off. That's it. I try not to stay on too long, or it will consume your life. But sometimes I see your posts on Facebook, and every time I see your post, it's always about God. It's always about positivity. It's always about love. So how did you, obviously you came from somewhere that was so dark, and now you're somewhere where it's just filled with light, love, and now I see you're just going through so much success, which is amazing. So how did you balance, now that you're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, you're traveling, you're going to community, speaking to people. How do you do all of that? How did you finally launch, your business? What did you start off with? How did you do that?
Well, I didn't know how I was gonna do it. What I did, I just went for it. I think mostly it's timing and me being a mom, a full-time mom actually, single mom, and just handling my kids and balancing ministry and then try to balance work and trying to do all this thing is just what I honestly don't know. When you want something, you go after it. And so time, of course, has a lot to do it. We have to learn how to manage our time. But me, I suck at time management sometimes.
Same here, girl. We're on the same page.
And so I'm learning. I'm still learning right now. But what keeps me is my passion for what I do. I have passion towards my kids, so I have no choice but to do what I need to do with them. I have passion towards my ministry, so I wanted to be big. So you know what I do? I do what I need to do with it. I find a way. And I believe where there's a will, there's a way. Honestly, I can't give you a definite answer because I'm still struggling with management. But when you want something and you're passionate about it just happens. You will find yourself doing these things and it will just all come to place. But just make sure it's something you're passionate about and not just something you're doing just as a regular job.
Right. Right. So Sandra, okay, so obviously, you found your passion. I can tell you found your mission and everything. So what about those, those females who are still trying to figure out what's their passion? How do they do that? Because obviously you found your passion through, I guess maybe even through pain. I don't know. What would you say? How are there other ways that females are able to find their passion, or how can they actually identify it? Because there's so many things. A lot of us, we always try to multitask, and we're so great with almost everything, but we just can't figure out what's the best thing or what we consider our passion. How do you define that?
Okay, well, what helped me find my passion is first I had to know who I was. And I think that's very important. Know who you are, because you won't be able to find your passion if you don't know who you are. So that's the first step. Know who you are. I remember when I got in my divorce, and because I was with my ex-husband since I was 15. Um, yeah, so we were together for 12 years, and I didn't know what I liked after we divorced. I didn't know who I was. I was like, what do I like? What is my favorite color? I was like all confused. But then I had to learn me. I had to date me, learn me. And while I was doing that and going through my process, God had to show me, hey, you got to know who you are first in order for you to know what's your purpose. And your first step has to be knowing who you are. You won't find your purpose if you do not know who you are. So I would say, go find out who you are. What do you like? What makes you happy? Once you find out what makes you happy, what you're passionate about, what you like, what can you see yourself doing? Who are you? When you can answer that and without putting other people in factor, and you can answer who you are individually, then that's a way of you learning your purpose. I knew I loved people. I wanted to help people. I believed in love. And so because I was so passionate about it, I was like, you know what? Me motivating people, I think this is what I want to do. I used to listen to Les Brown, and I just felt some way.
I love him.
I just felt like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And so you start feeling that bubble, that sensation inside of you, and you start to think like, I can totally tell the difference between me working a 9 to 5. I don't want to go to work. I hate to go to work. Oh Lord, today, right now, I can't wait to get out. But when you're passionate about something, even if you're having a bad day with it, you're going to find some sort of encouragement to keep you going, because this is what you want. This is what you like. So that's how you know your passion. When you still want to, if you don't mind struggling with it, that's your call right there. With it.
Just kind of like it reminds me that it kind of reminds me of that quote. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's a very common or popular quote where it basically says, if you'll never, I know I'm gonna get it so wrong, I'm not gonna say verbatimly, but something like, if you do what you love, it will never feel like work.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how you know that's your purpose. That's how you know.
Yeah.
It's not gonna feel like a job. It's gonna feel like a lifestyle. This is who I am. It's gonna be it's who you are. I like to motivate people. I like to see people smile. I know how it feels to
Right.
be sad and hurt. And I think life itself is already so bad, you know? And so when you find your passion and you're happy about it, even life is gonna happen. There's gonna be bad things. But then when you can go home to what you love doing, this is what encourages you and motivates you to live and live for people around you. So first find who you are. Find out who you are. Because you won't find your purpose if you don't know who you are. You're just jumping from people to people and you're gonna pretend to be somebody you're not, and then you're never gonna succeed. It's always gonna come back and find out who you are first.
Okay, awesome. So it seems like so far what I've learned, and I'm sure what the viewers have learned, is basically one, meditate, pray, take some
Oh
time
yeah.
to know your creator, and then two, take some time to know yourself. Take yourself on a date, get to know who you are, what you like, what you
Yes.
don't like, what you love, what you don't love, and then build from there. Awesome. Wow. Thank you so much. She is an amazing, phenomenal woman, a mother, a businesswoman, a minister. I have one quick question. Basically, because there's so many viewers who are watching us right now, and you have just given us so many juicy nuggets. So how can they find you? How can they follow you? How can they know more about you?
They can follow me on Facebook, Sandra Love. You can go on my like page, Walking in Love at on Facebook, and then you can go on my website, walkinginlove.com. It's WALKING, the letter NLOVE.com. And hey, I'm here. I'm not hiding, you guys. I'm not hiding.
Awesome. So there you guys have it. So this is the end of the I Am She series for today, guys. Stay posted because we will have more. Enjoy your day and stay wonderful, stay blessed, stay living the life, because
Yes.
you are you and no one can be like you. Bye, guys.
Bye.